All right, so we're going to start whipping the end of the line here to keep it from fraying. So I've got my short example piece here. This isn't good. So what we're going to do is basically bind the end of the rope here so that it doesn't fray like this. So I've got my whipping thread, so basically just heavy waxed thread, doubled up, just a double overhand knot here at the end. So what I'm going to do is come down from the end a little bit, and I'm just going to kind of stick this through anywhere. I want this to go through the fiber of the line. I don't want it to go neatly through the strands. Okay, pull that tight. What I like to do is untwist or unlay the line a little bit and draw that in a bit so that that knot kind of hides itself within the lay of the line a bit. So from here, what we're going to do is, because we've doubled up the thread, we're going to start wrapping against the lay of the line. The line is twisting to the right, so we're going to go around to the left. So double that up. And be sure to keep the lines parallel. So after about 2 passes or a pass and a half here, what I'm going to do is draw down tight on the thread. And this kind of helps compress everything. Give it another pass, pull it tight, give it another pass, pull it tight. And you're going to keep wrapping this until you get what's functionally square to the diameter of the line you're using. So this is, do I want to say 3/8? Maybe it's a bit more than that. All right, this line's close to 1/2 inch, so we want to wrap this till it's about 1/2 inch. Okay, wrap it around, and again, make sure it's tight up against the other passes. And we've got, this might be a little hard to see, but this strand here, try to pull that and slide that down so that it's sitting in the lay of the line rather than on top of the line. We kind of want to get it into the groove so it's a little bit more disguised. All right. So now we've got this drawn fairly tight. It's a little uneven back here, but that'll be okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm holding this in place. I'm going to take the needle and I'm going to try to pass it as much as I can through the strand of the line. So if I were to unlay this here, basically going in through here and out the other side. And I'm going to cheat a little and pull this down. Use the needle as a small spike on that. And just to get back to where we were, I unwrapped this just as a sort of a visual aid. So once we're wrapped around, and again, pass it through, draw it down tight. And you may try to work this down a bit. You want to get this, not sure if you can see, but it's kind of wandering up and away. So trying to get that down. And what you're going to do is follow the lay of the line or the twist of the line. So it's kind of coming down at an angle. Once you're down, what you'll do is, if you can, and the line's not too stubborn, open it up, and you're going to pass it cleanly through so that you're not catching any fibers. And try to keep the lines fairly parallel. You want to avoid any twisting through here, and I got some twisting, so that's not good. Let's redo that one. Again, I'm not passing through any of the fibers of the line, I'm passing between all of the strands, so it makes it kind of easy to pass this back through if I need to. But another thing is that we want to pass that through the strand or between the strands rather than through the strands. What we're going to do is draw up on this after we get it through, and it's going to help compress everything and keep it fairly snug. If we end up passing through any of the fiber of the line like we do, say here, that's going to get caught. You're not going to be able to compress the line. So once it's through, bring it around, okay? And then what we're going to do is go up and back. Come back this way, and you can actually see this is where that line sort of wandered off and it was being a little bit stubborn. So hopefully you can help kind of draw it down with this. Actually, I'm going to cheat again here. Unlay this. Wrap it around that strand to bring it tight. And I'm not terribly happy with this, but this material is very, very rough, so even with a wax thread, it doesn't want to draw through too easily. Okay, so then you can see we're running parallel here. Drop it down, again, with the lay of the line. You want it to sort of follow that groove so that everything's kind of spiraling around. Again, unlay the line, slip that through, and try to make sure the strands are parallel. Okay, good. I'll draw that tight. So as we rotate this around, you can see this is running through every lay. So pull it up fairly tight. And then what I'm going to do is pass the needle through the fibers of a couple of the strands. Draw that tight, and then I'm going to do it again. And I'll just kind of pass and keep it tight from where it exits and push it through. The goal here is to kind of catch it in the fibers. Draw it tight, and from there you can snip it, and that's not going to go anywhere for a long, long while. So ideally you've got a little bit more length at the end of the line than you need. So you can take this and trim it up. I find a chisel works really well for doing this, but just sever that. Get that a little bit tighter with these scissors here. Yeah, and this will take a good deal of abuse on your boat, on the dock. Again, I'm not terribly happy with the way this sits up here, but for the purposes of demonstration, this is how you go about whipping the end of a line so it doesn't fray out.